Hey, it's Penta here, about to show you guys how to carry a game single-handedly, no fucking help. Here we go. Before you even start thinking about carrying somebody, you have to make sure that you expect nothing from all of your teammates. Sounds pretty fucking dumb, doesn't it? But it actually isn't. Think about it this way. If you expect nothing out of your team, then you can't blame them for anything, because you expected nothing the whole time. You have to make sure that all you do is stay positive. You have to motivate your team, you have to motivate yourself. Don't ever flame anybody because you'll just put your teammates on tilt and it'll lower your chances of winning. Now that your head's on straight, you're ready for the most important part of carrying. Winning your own fucking lane. We've all had this motherfucker on our team once. Exactly. Nobody wants to be like that. You can't afford to be like that. This guy's a pain in the ass. The dude who goes 2-7 during laning phase and then complains in all chat about how heavy his team is. No, you have to win your own lane. Everybody needs to know that you have to win your own lane by yourself. And when I mean win your own lane, I mean just that. Win your own lane. Meaning, if you're doing well, you should probably expect the jungler to gank you because, well, that's what junglers do. But you can't expect your jungler to shadow the other jungler. Why? Because he has other shit to do. You have to carry your own lane and you have to make sure you can do so by warding. Warding gives you vision of everything. Nobody can gank you if you buy wards. There's 75 gold in the item shop. Please invest in them. Seriously, if you want to carry, you have to win your own lane, and in order to win your own lane, you have to buy some wards. Vision is really good, so please, again, invest in it. But this only really applies if you're a solo laner. If you're a jungler, you have to make sure that you buy vision for your team. You have to know when to farm and when to go gank. Good times to farm would be when everybody's shoved up to Kingdom Come, and good times to gank would be when your opponents are shoved or they call for a gank and they have a lot of threat in their lane, meaning they have a lot of CC to make ganks actually successful. Remember that winning your own lane is what carrying a game is all about, so make sure you win your own lane. Now that you're fed as shit, it's time for you to apply your lead to other lanes. This is really important since other people need help too. You can't just starve your whole team while you have all the kills in your hand. There are two good times to roam, one being after you shove the lane when your opponent has backed, and the second is after you killed your opponent. Either instance works really well, so make sure you try to roam during those times. If you go roam while your opponent's still in lane, it's really risky because they could dig themselves out of that hole you put them in by CSing while you aren't there. That's not good. You want to make sure you bury your opponent and then go roam. Don't try and roam while you're behind either because they'll just put you further behind. That's really stupid. While I'm on the topic of roaming, I'd like to talk about the top laner dilemma. Basically, all these low elo top laners talking about that they can't carry and this and that because they're all top laners. I find that to be bullshit 9 out of 10 times. You have an ability called teleport, and if you're a top laner, you're probably going to take that a majority of the time. You're using your teleport to teleport back to lane and get farm. That's stupid. Take the loss walking all the way to lane, lose a few waves of CS, if that. Then you could make a big ass play on the other side of the map that could turn the tide of the game completely. You have the power in your hand to change the game, so don't use that ability to just go back to lane. It's a waste of the ability. Granted, if your tower's about to fall, then you should probably teleport up there to stop that from happening, but odds are you shouldn't be using your teleport to just go back to lane every time back to back. Off cooldown, you should always tell your team when your TP's up, because maybe you could set up a play and maybe you could set up a dragon. Like I said, roaming's really important, but you can't be a fucking scumbag. Make sure that you donate kills to other people, because if all your team's eggs are in one basket and you end up dying, then, well, there goes the game. Now that you're done pounding the enemy team by roaming, it's time for you to start taking objectives. When I was a little wood tier scrub, I used to think that keeping my tower up was a fantastic idea. However, that's really stupid. If you keep your tower up and just continually pound your opponent, yeah, that's good for you, but the fucker's worth 25 gold. It really isn't helping anybody. What you have to do is take that tower, give your team global gold, and start focusing other objectives. A good one would be Dragon. Since Dragon's gotten reworked to give you minor buffs, especially the 5th one that's really important, it's time for you to start actually focusing it earlier on in the game. In low elo, I normally see the first dragon getting taken at around 20 to 25 minutes. That is atrocious. You need to abuse the power of that dragon. If your bot lane aces, then it's probably a good idea to go shift towards dragon. If your mid laner gets a kill, it's probably good to shift towards dragon. And if your top laner has TP, definitely go set up a play at dragon. Because not only can you get the dragon, but you could probably set up some kills for yourself too. That extra lead is really good for you. Make sure throughout the game you're always focusing this dragon because that 5th buff can win you the game by itself. The next objective you should be focusing is the Big Dick Bandit himself, Baron Nashor, aka the Throwaway King. Don't go full retard throwing a game over Baron like you see all these LCS teams doing and all these solo queue teams doing. All you have to do is know when to go to Baron. Good times to go to Baron would be after you ace the enemy team, took a few towers, and know you have the damage to get it on the way back to base. Another good time would be after your opponent sends a few people bot lane to split push and you know that they don't have it warded. Just make sure you have the damage to finish it, because if you don't, then they may catch up to you and kill you there. And lastly, you could use Baron as a way to get a team away from their tower. If your enemy team's eating their tower's ass the whole game because you can't siege against them, it's a good idea to lure them out so you could finally win that game. Using Baron is a good way to get that team away from that tower. You want to draw them out into the open, so if you know Baron's warded, start it to make it believable, then they have to run to you. But if they don't have it warded, you're going to do what we like to call the bronze bush. Hide in a bush anywhere in their jungle near Baron. If it's not warded, they have to send somebody to go ward it, because they know if you get Baron, you could siege the shit out of them, so they have to try and contest it. And when they do, you just pounce on the first person you see, and if you get 1 kill off of it, go ahead and take Baron. But if you get multiple kills off of it, don't even waste your time, just end the game off that. Objectives are way too good when you're carrying to not be taking. Abuse the enemy team by taking objectives constantly. I know that taking all these objectives and doing all these roams are really time consuming, but you always have to remember to farm. A good farmer knows not only how to last hit, but when to go farm. You have to know when it's a good time to actually go get that farm and when it's really stupid. You can't be 30 minutes in a game with only 100 farm. That is unacceptable. Think about it this way. With more CS, you get more gold. With more gold, you get more items. With more items, you get more damage. With more damage, you get more team fights won. So that way, you win more games. Make sure you farm, because that gold is really important. How many times have you backed and been like, shit, I'm 20 gold short and I'm sitting at fountain for an extra 15 seconds? It's really stupid. Don't do that. Just make sure you farm very efficiently. And most importantly, don't be the guy who just AFK split pushes while your team's grouped. 1, because everybody fucking hates that guy, and 2, your team's already grouped, so don't split by yourself, because they're gonna get engaged on or do the engaging without you. Since you have most of the kills, that's gonna be a fucking throw, so avoid throwing the game and always group. Go farm when all your team's backed, but make sure you have wards. You could also go farm when the enemy team's has been aced and you've already taken objectives, just push a wave to the tower, it's easy as that. With all this information, you're allowed to carry a game as far as you allow yourself to. You have to win lane, you have to expect nothing. You have to be positive, take objectives, go roam, and make sure you're always farming. If this video helped you out, please like and subscribe. I'm trying to release content every 3 days. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.